up for Jason Bateman, everyone. The Good and Gather brand. That's the first time you ever heard that, right? Ever. Yeah, I figured. I figured as much. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
What up?
Hey, I'm Alex. I'm originally from Florida. I was a small Florida kid with big dreams. I wanted to be an astronaut. I told my mom when I was 5 I want to be an astronaut, and my mom said, well, I was going through a phase where I only wore dresses because gender or something. And my mom's like, well, astronauts don't wear dresses. And then my first job was as a stripper. Yeah, so maybe don't tell kids what they can and can't wear in the workplace. They're not going to wear anything at all. I actually was a stripper, which is strange because I also am Jewish. I did not need the money. Just seemed like a fun thing to do. It kind of was. It was cool. My stripper name was Viper, but I spelled it with a Y. Yeah, it was pretty badass. And the men, they'd be like, oh, yeah, Viper, because you like sports cars. And I'm like, nah, it's because I look like I definitely own snakes. I do. I actually do own snakes. I have one right now. Her name is Reese Slitherspoon. Yeah, she's a trans woman. I'm very proud of her. I love her. Back when I was a stripper, my name was Viper. I have tattoos. You can't see them because I'm retired now. I'm wearing clothes. But if you're wondering what a stripper named Viper with a Y dances to, it is predominantly corn. Occasionally, Papa Roach, if it was, a weekend, if it was Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Papa Roach. I also am non-binary. Fletcher explained what that meant earlier. Basically, it means I'm just, I'm not a man, I'm not a woman. I'm 3 Alison Bechdel graphic novels in a trench coat. That's what non-binary is. I came out last year. I got the haircut. I got the Prius. I did it. And getting the Prius was like, that's what really, put the nail in my gender coffin, if you will. Because I had to get new car insurance, and it was it's expensive. Car insurance in LA is expensive. And then I found out that women pay more for car insurance. That is a fact. Women pay more than men for car insurance because they think women are like shitty drivers or something. And I'm like, well, if you're going to make women pay more, then I'm just not going to be one anymore. I still got to you got to change your license. You can get X on your license, but I got to do the math and see how much that costs and see if it's cheaper than just paying the woman price for insurance. Because at the end of the day, whether I'm a man, whether I'm a woman, at the end of the day, I am still Jewish. And I want the best deal. I am Jewish. I did my birthright trip. Yeah, I did my free propaganda trip. I'll believe anything for 10 days for free international airfare. All right, what apartheid? What? I know people get all pissed off. They sent you on this free trip. You can't say bad stuff. And it's well, maybe they should have covered my snacks. Because that came out of pocket, and that wasn't fucking fair, okay? I think Israel has the money. I don't know. I don't want to, get into the whole conflict, but, I will say one thing. I do think that Israel should be a one-state solution. I think they should call it Palestine, but I think they should spell it Stein. Sign, throw a berg on there. I don't know. Look, it's a thinker, okay? It's a thinker. I just turned 33.
Woo!
Yeah, it's weird. Doctors are my age now. It's so weird, like, because before you think, like, you know, adults, they have this authority, like, doctors are younger than me, and, like, I matched with someone on Tinder recently, and they were a pilot, and they were telling me that they were, like, they wanted to see my feet, which is fine, I'm not kink shaming, but, like, pilots are just some guy. Look, I don't know, I think airplanes are dangerous, all right? You're in the hands of just some guy. All right, we're adults now, and we have to. All right, cool. Should I talk about Israel more? We could do that. We could do that. I'm bisexual. I guess I don't know. Like I use the term bisexual, and then I heard that like no, bisexual is trans exclusive, but then that turned out to be a fucking lie. But I already like decided not to use that term, and then for a while I'm like, okay, I'm pansexual. And then people are like, oh, haha, pansexual, pans. Here's a skillet, wanna fuck it? I know, like, I did that one time. It was one time. It doesn't define my entire sexuality. I don't know, I just settled on queer. It's easier. I guess I say bisexual sometimes, but it comes with a lot of assumptions, you know, like, people, like lesbians don't like to date bisexuals because they think we're just experimenting. Men don't like to date, or they like to date bisexuals, but they think you just want to have a threesome, which I don't. Like, I've had a lot of threesomes. They're all bad. Every single one. I've had maybe like 14 to 16 threesomes. It just, the logistics don't work. Someone's always left out. I don't want to sound like a square. I just firmly believe that sex is for two people or four or more. Anything in the middle, it just gets a little weird, you know? And I don't understand, you know, lesbians being like, well, you're just experimenting. Like, no, I'm not experimenting. I clearly suck at science. Like, I did an experiment for threesomes with a sample size of 14 to 16 before I said, yeah, no, maybe this isn't for me. 69ing, not for me either. What's the rush? Where do you have to be so quickly that you had to consolidate oral sex? You could just do it and not have a butthole in your nose. It's funny though when you think about it, because it's called 69 because like the 6 and the 9, you know, it looks like it. But then when you think about that, that means that 666, the devil's number, that's just 3 people spooning. I know, it's so cute. Satanism's adorable. So cute. I've also been watching a lot of trash television. It's my new thing. It's my new personality. Like I watch The Bachelor with zero irony anymore. Love is Blind season 2 is out. You're welcome. I'm into like the fun trash television. Before it was only like the classics, you know, like Intervention. Yeah, remember Intervention? The documentaries about the drug addicts that went for like 19 seasons and they still found people that were surprised? Like, how did they do that? I would watch hours of Intervention, and that show is really interesting to me because you kind of notice patterns with these people after 19 seasons, you know? So what I noticed is that all of, like, the women on that show, for the most part, all of the women on that show, they're addicts because they had a past of sexual assault, and that's why they became an addict. And all the men on that show, they have a past of really, really wanting to play professional baseball, and then they didn't. And the struggles are equal, right? I don't know. I would hate to diminish failed athleticism when I, as a rape victim, can never imagine something so traumatic. You know, and it's okay to laugh. I know. I mentioned I'm a rape victim. You're not supposed to talk. You're not supposed to do rape jokes in comedy. Newsflash, I just did. Because I put in the work. I went there on a study abroad trip in Russia. And I don't bring it up for you to be uncomfortable. I just bring it up because I want you to know I'm well traveled. Like, I went to Russia. You need a visa to go there. They don't just let you in. And I do, as a victim, as a survivor, whatever you want to call it, of sexual assault, I think it's important to talk about, especially since I moved to LA. There's the Me Too movement. This is kind of, in Hollywood is where the whole thing started. Hollywood, when you think about it, the whole film industry was founded upon rapists. Like, go back to the very beginning. All the prominent men were rapists, like Roman Polanski, rapist. Woody Allen, rapist. Alfred Hitchcock. When I wrote this joke, I wasn't sure if he did anything, but rule of three, right? Turns out he gropes. Hitchcock gropes. Pepe Le Pew, rapist. There was a time in Hollywood where there were not enough rapists, so they drew another one. Just think about that. I did go to Russia. I majored in Russian for some reason in college because at the time it seemed better than theater. I don't know. And here I am on a rooftop performing for all of you in English. Ugh, gross.